I was tagged in this story on Twitter, and I'm gonna just give a little disclaimer right quick. Some of you may or may not agree with me when it comes to what I'm about to say as it pertains to this, based on the demographic of who is in the pictures and who is, I guess you can say, on the opposing side. But I'm gonna just flat out say it right here. I feel practically absolutely nothing for the individuals in which this happened to. And I'm going to explain to you why right now. So there was this huge gathering of people out in California. Now, mind you, the social distancing thing is still on the table and has been for the last week or so. So it's not like nobody in the establishment knows or doesn't know about it. But this crowd of people decided to have a birthday party for a 1-year-old. It was a 1-year-old who was celebrating their birthday. And it was a crowd of 40 people. It could have been more than that, but it was definitely more than the 10 that is required not to go over as far as people go when it comes to social gatherings of any kind. And, you know, with 40 people like that, that's going to make a lot of noise. So, of course, the cops were alerted and they came out and they dispersed the crowd. What ended up happening is a lot of the people that were there refused to want to leave, and the cops were basically forced to arrest some of the people or make them forcibly leave in the midst of all of this happening. I just did a video about a man in Maryland who had a bonfire of 60 people, and that wasn't his first ride at the rodeo. I don't know what kind of event he had before then, but I truly believe that was one of the reasons as to why the governor of the state of Maryland implemented this 8 p.m. curfew that we have now. Basically, nobody can be on the roads after 8 o'clock for pretty much any reason. So, because they're pretty much going to shut down all the businesses that are open that are considered to be essential at that time. So no one should be out at that time. It's stuff like this, which is why I say America has an arrogance problem. Let's take the social construct of race out of this. What did they do in this scenario that was so different from what that palm colored guy did in the other video that I talked about? Nothing different. It was just 2 different occasions and in 2 different states on 2 different coasts in 2 different time zones. Like I said, this goes back to the arrogance of America. Now, they probably was saying, well, we planned this party out for a while for this girl to have her birthday party. Well, guess what? Guess what? You are not the only person or people to have their plans be messed up by this unexpected pandemic. I've seen pictures and videos online where people who were getting married around this time had to reduce their big wedding down to a justice of the peace ceremony just so they could get married and, you know, just have it be something small and intimate. Now, what's to say that when this thing dies down and settles a little bit, that they will not go back to their original plans and have a bigger ceremony when people are allowed to socially gather with each other later down the line? But the more and more people do stuff like this, the more and more we're going to have to stay in. I don't know if y'all have heard, but in the state of Virginia, their stay in home order is all the way through June 10th. I'm recording this video on March 31st. You're talking 2.5 months that they cannot do social gatherings for the state of Virginia. Now, for everybody else, it's up into the 30th of April. Now, who knows what it'll be like between now and that time. Let's hope that it can get a little bit progressively better. But when people continue to do stuff like this and be hard-headed, it will never get there. That's why they implemented this in place. When they tell you to stay inside, they mean that. And then on top of that, not only are you exposing yourself, see, I spoke too soon. Not only are you putting yourself at danger, but you're putting someone else at danger as well. Somebody at that party could have had it. All it takes is one person, and that's it. And with the child that's being celebrated, who is 1, they are very susceptible to catching it and dying from it because their immune system is not that strong to fight off the bacteria. And who knows if somebody else at that party had an underlying ailment. It's like, do you want some sense of normalcy back, or do you want us to stay inside forever or for the rest of the year? This is not just one thing that's affecting just a couple people here and there. This is a global thing that's going on right here. And when people continue to do stuff like this, they're not helping push stuff along. It's like we're continuing to stay stagnant. I want to go out and do stuff just like everybody else. But guess what? I have to check and make sure that my health is in order. And with those videos that I have been bringing to you so far, with those 2 cases, the woman in New York and the man in Michigan, and how they were in the perfect bill of health, but they didn't get any help because they did not have underlying conditions, I fall into that category. If I get that, I will be scared that I could not get any type of test done to see if I can combat this thing or know what to do because I don't have an underlying condition. And because I'm not a public figure. One of my subscribers had to point that out, that it seems to also be public figures that are able to get access to these tests. But like I said, this goes back to what I've been saying with the arrogance of America. And see, people are not taking this seriously. Again, I sound like a broken record at this point. People are not taking this thing seriously at all. It's really a shame, because you're in survivor mode, and people are saying that, oh, this is this and this is that. Okay, you can say this is this and this is that until it hits you or hits someone close to you. And then what are you going to be saying? California was one of the first states to go under that lockdown thing for a reason. And this happened in California after the social distancing thing was put down on the books, and they still went out there and did it anyway. Arrogance and ignorance is 2 things that is killing this establishment as it stands right now. If this virus didn't do one thing, it did this. It exposed some of the stupid people that live here in this establishment known as the United States of America. It definitely did that. But if they want to continue to go out there and do that and put themselves in harm's way while this thing is still being battled and they don't know which way is upside down, whatever, then go right on ahead. You won't find me out there trying to save you. Go ahead and do what it is that you do. And then when you wake up one morning and you find that you coughing the wrong way, or you having problems breathing, or whatever other symptoms that this thing has, then you'll be looking back on and be like, man, I should not have gone and done that particular day. By that time, it'll probably be too late, because with the way that this thing is taking people out, it's kind of hard for you to get that treatment that you need in that record time. I'm talking about taking people out in 3 days after they get tested positive for it. So, but hey, who am I? I can't tell a grown person what to do. It's their life. It is what it is. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Twitter if you haven't done so already. Have your notifications turned on, and I will talk to you in the next one.